For more than 100 years, Boeing has been a symbol of American ingenuity, resilience, and ambition. From its humble beginnings in a small Seattle boathouse, the company grew into a global powerhouse, shaping the very way we travel and connect across the world. Its iconic aircraft have bridged continents, brought families together, and powered the U.S. economy through wars, booms, and recessions. Boeing's jets have become synonymous with progress, adventure, and the American dream. But now, as the world changes faster than ever, Boeing faces perhaps its most daunting challenge in history, a test that threatens not just its business, but its very identity. A series of internal missteps, from engineering flaws to management controversies, have shaken confidence in the company. At the same time, fierce competition from abroad has left Boeing more vulnerable than ever before. The aviation world is no longer a simple rivalry between Boeing and Airbus. Now, China has entered the race with bold ambitions, determined to challenge the old order and establish itself as a new leader in aerospace. Boeing's struggles are no longer just about business, they are deeply intertwined with global politics. The company finds itself at the heart of the US-China rivalry, where every decision carries weighty implications for the future of advanced manufacturing and technological leadership. Caught in the crossfire of a trade war, Boeing is also battling a crisis of public trust and questions about its engineering integrity. The stakes have never been higher, as the world watches to see if this American titan can weather the storm. As we look ahead, the future of Boeing, and perhaps the future of American aerospace, hangs in the balance. Can the company innovate its way out of crisis, restore its reputation, and reclaim its leadership? Or are we witnessing the dawn of a new era, where the balance of power in the skies shifts for good? The answers to these questions will shape not only Boeing's destiny, but also the future of America's industrial base and its standing on the world stage. The US-China trade war, reignited in 2025, has become a direct threat to Boeing. Once a symbol of American export success, Boeing is now a pawn in a high-stakes geopolitical game. China, without officially blacklisting Boeing, has shifted its orders to Airbus, leaving Boeing's Chinese deals in limbo. Deliveries of crucial 737 MAX jets are now hostage to political tensions, threatening Boeing's financial stability. China's strategy is clear. By sidelining Boeing, it punishes the US and creates space for its own aerospace ambitions. The trade war has accelerated China's push to break the Western duopoly in aviation. Boeing's once reliable Chinese market is evaporating, replaced by uncertainty and strategic rivalry. The fallout is reshaping the global aerospace industry. The idea of a Chinese-built jet rivaling Boeing and Airbus is now reality. After years of development, China's aviation industry has finally produced a passenger aircraft that can stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. This marks a turning point not just for China, but for the entire global aviation landscape. COMAC, backed by Beijing's vast resources and strategic vision, has launched the C919, a direct competitor to the Boeing 737 MAX and Airbus A320neo. Years of investment, research, and collaboration with international suppliers have culminated in this state-of-the-art jet, designed to meet the needs of modern airlines and passengers alike. The C919's entry into service is a milestone of national pride and a symbol of China's technological ambitions. Its maiden flight was celebrated across the country, with officials and citizens alike hailing it as a new chapter in China's rise as a global power. The C919 is more than just an airplane. It's a statement of intent. State support ensures COMAC's success at home, with policies requiring Chinese airlines to prioritize its jets. This government backing is crucial, providing a guaranteed customer base and helping COMAC weather the challenges of breaking into a market long dominated by foreign giants. This protected market gives COMAC the breathing room to refine its aircraft and scale up production. With each new jet that rolls off the assembly line, COMAC gains valuable experience, improving quality and efficiency, and building the foundation for future innovation. But China's ambitions don't stop at its borders. COMAC is targeting developing markets worldwide. The company is actively showcasing the C919 at international air shows, forging partnerships, and seeking to win orders from airlines in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Deals like the one with Brazil's Totalinas signal its global intent. These partnerships are just the beginning, as COMAC aims to establish itself as a credible alternative to Boeing and Airbus in markets hungry for new options and competitive pricing. The era of a simple Boeing-Airbus duopoly is over. With COMAC's arrival, airlines now have a third major player to consider, potentially reshaping the balance of power in the aviation industry for years to come. COMAC is here to stay, and its journey is just beginning. As the C919 takes to the skies, the world will be watching to see how far China's aviation dreams can soar. While China rises, Boeing has been hobbled by its own crises. The 737 MAX disasters shattered its reputation for safety, leading to global groundings and regulatory crackdowns. China was the first to ground the MAX, dealing a blow to Boeing's standing in its most important overseas market. Ongoing supply chain issues and production delays have further eroded customer confidence. Critics blame a shift from engineering excellence to financial priorities, with cost-cutting and stock buybacks taking precedence over innovation. Boeing's focus on incremental updates rather than bold new designs has left it vulnerable. The company's internal struggles have opened the door for competitors to surge ahead. China is the world's fastest-growing aviation market, and for Boeing, it's not just important, it's absolutely essential. The scale and speed of China's aviation expansion are unlike anything the world has seen before. Every day, millions of Chinese travelers take to the skies, and the country's airports are among the busiest on the planet. For Boeing, China represents both a massive opportunity and a critical lifeline for future growth. The company's future depends on access to China, which is projected to need nearly 9,000 new planes by 2040. That's more than any other country in the world, and it means that a significant portion of Boeing's long-term business is tied directly to Chinese demand. Without a strong presence in China, Boeing risks losing out on billions of dollars in sales and decades of market leadership. Losing ground here would be a devastating financial blow, with no other market able to fill the gap. Even if Boeing were to increase sales in other regions, the sheer size of the Chinese market means that nothing else comes close. The company's global supply chain, workforce, and research investments all depend on maintaining a foothold in China. Every C919 sold is a lost Boeing sale, and as COMAC ramps up, Boeing's share shrinks. The rise of China's own aircraft manufacturer, COMAC, is a direct threat to Boeing's dominance. Each new COMAC jet that enters service is a sign that China is determined to become self-sufficient, and that Boeing's traditional advantages are eroding. The Chinese government's support for its domestic champion makes Boeing's future in China increasingly uncertain. With state backing, COMAC enjoys resources and policy advantages that foreign competitors can't match. This support is part of a broader strategy to build a world-class aerospace industry, and it puts Boeing in a difficult position. As Boeing's sales decline, its ability to invest in new aircraft and maintain global competitiveness is threatened. Fewer orders mean less revenue for research, development, and innovation, making it harder for Boeing to keep pace with rivals both in China and around the world. Airbus may benefit in the short term, picking up some of the slack as Boeing struggles, but the long-term challenge is to all Western manufacturers. If China succeeds in building a self-sustaining aerospace sector, it could eventually squeeze out both Boeing and Airbus, reshaping the global industry. China aims to build an aerospace ecosystem that could one day rival the entire Western order. The stakes are enormous, not just for Boeing, but for the future of global aviation itself. The outcome will shape the industry for generations to come. Despite its ambitions, the C919 relies heavily on Western technology. Key systems and engines come from American and European suppliers, making COMAC vulnerable to export restrictions. The US has already moved to limit technology exports, signaling its willingness to disrupt China's aerospace rise. This dependency is a strategic paradox. China's flagship jet is powered by its rivals. The web of interdependence, once a source of collaboration, is now a battleground in the tech war. China is racing to develop its own engines and avionics, but true self-sufficiency is years away. Until then, COMAC's wings are tied to Western technology. The balance of power in aerospace remains fragile and contested. The Boeing-COMAC rivalry is complicated by deep mutual dependence. China's airlines still need Boeing and Airbus planes, parts, and support. Full decoupling would disrupt its economy. Chinese carriers prefer multiple suppliers to keep prices competitive, not just a COMAC monopoly. Meanwhile, US aerospace firms rely on Chinese suppliers for components, making sudden disentanglement costly and risky. This interdependence acts as a brake on escalation, but it's weakening as nationalist pressures rise. Each side, holds powerful leverage. The US can restrict tech, China can close its market. The risk of miscalculation grows as competition intensifies. The decades-old economic ties binding these giants are under threat. Boeing's struggles and China's rise signal a seismic shift in global aerospace. American dominance, once unchallenged, is now at risk. A weakened Boeing means lost jobs, diminished innovation, and a shrinking industrial base in the US. The commercial-military link is critical. Less revenue for Boeing could erode America's defense edge. China's growing aerospace sector has dual-use implications, boosting both its commercial and military power. The Boeing-COMAC story mirrors the broader US-China tech rivalry. The outcome is uncertain, but the battle for the skies will shape global power for decades. The 21st century's aerospace race has begun.